A person who thinks all the time has nothing to think about except thoughts.
The self-tanner has worn off a bit, so I'm actually going to use the airbrush legs, which I used to use like 100 years ago, literally when I was in like grade 9. And I hated wearing a gym uniform, so I wore these like, God bless her, I wore these like leggings under my shorts, and they had little, some had polka dots, some had like skull and crossbones on them, and then there was like a portion of my leg, and I just hated it, so I would put this on it, but I would just like spray it directly, and it's obviously a lot better now than it was back then. I'm just gonna take a body oil. Oh, that smells so good. This brush is shedding so much. You can spray it directly too. Never in a million years would I think to do this and put it on my chest, because for some reason tanner doesn't hold here at all. My skin's already prepped with skincare, so I'm going to go in with a little bit of Natural Radiance primer all over. She's so matte all the time, and like honestly I just don't know if I can do that. I'm going to go in with Strobe Cream and Pinklite, so even if I do decide to go a little matte, I'll be glowy underneath. I'm starting with NC38 Soft Matte Foundation Stick to lay down kind of my bronzing and my contour. This is NC60. And I'm going to blend that with a 130. To make this all come together, I'm going to take Face and Body in C3. And I'm going to use a 159 today. And marry all of this together. I want a little bit more coverage today. I'm going to go in with the Waterweight concealer. I literally am just using this because I haven't used it in forever. This gives beautiful coverage, but it is better on drier skin. I'm going to take an e.l.f. brush and just push that on. Oh, it's so nice. Such radiant glow. Matte Fix Plus, because this will keep my skin hydrated but leave more of a matte finish. Now I'm going to go into the eyes because under here is so important to do after, so it's brighter and cuts the shadow a bit more. 24-hour eye base. Oh god, I have to do the brows too. Should I do the brows first maybe? Kylie's brows are quite dark and they look a little bit more powdery to me, so I have one of my custom inserts. I'm going with Coquette. This is the most underrated eyeshadow color for your brows on the face of this earth. Going in with an angled brush, this is the 266. I use this brow shade on Indian women and like Middle Eastern women because it just looks so good. And then you can use like a darker pencil or brow marker for like a little bit more definition. So you can see the color of the shadow compared to like how it looks in the brow. Basically, it's sitting like on the skin underneath and shadowing the brow hairs, making them look darker than they are. Favorite Studio Fix Concealer in NC30. Favorite brush, the 242. I find with her brows, this highlight line is past the front of the brow. I want to add a bit more definition to the brow, so going with an old color called Mystery. This is also from another custom pro palette I made. Use the same brush. I'm going with Clear Brow Set instead of False Lash Maximizer because her brows aren't really combed up a lot. Like she doesn't have that like fluffy brow. So I'm going to put the fronts up and then pull the tails back and down. This custom palette, I'm going to go with Soba on a 224. Put this color pretty wide across the whole eye. Right on top of that, I'm going to layer in Wedge, which is a little bit more cool toned, and use the same brush as well. It was the people of TikTok, man. They're the ones that I posted a video making this Starbucks drink, like freezing it, and it's at 2.4 million views right now, and some of the comments were that I look like Kylie Jenner. I'm going to take Wedge just by itself and sweep it across the lid. I feel like the shadow's a little bit more red too, like now that I look at it longer. So get a little bit warmer, and I'm going to pick up Saddle in the crease as well. Next, I'm going to take Brule, which is like a flat skin tone color, and I'm picking that up on a 228. You can't get this anymore, but any fluffy large like paddle style brush will work. So we're going to pause on the eyes, and we're going to go and do the concealer so we can sharpen this edge, and then we have more intensity for the shadow along the lower lash line. First with Tarte Shape Tape in medium to color correct. So I'm going to apply that color right under the whole eye area, and then then we're going back in with the Studio Fix concealer in NC30, and I'm going to load it up on the inside corner and more on the outside corner. To blend this out, I'm using a 287 concealer brush. This will help lay like a fuller coverage, and I get more precision. We're going to lock in those layers with Fix Plus. My favorite bronzer. Literally every time there's a summer launch, I just buy 2, because I go through a bronzer every 6 months. Clean 224. I'm going to pick up a little bit of the bronzer and just shape the top part of the nose for now. Let's go back to the eyes. I'm going to go in with a mixture of Wedge and Saddle. On a 239, I'm going to run this under the eye, but no more than the actual like width of the brush. And then back with that 287, we're just going to clean up under the eye again. Using Brule. And I'm just going to add that to soften. So I'm going to go in with Brush Brown. I'm going to take Retrospeck, and I'm using it wet, and we're going to highlight the inside corner of the eye. She's wearing a pink blush in this photo, so I'm going in with Cheeky Devil. Pop that on the cheek. I'm going to use a 240 to do under the eye. I'm going to do my mascara and my lashes off camera, and then we'll come back. Okay, lashes and mascara are done. I used the 76 lash. I feel like she has white eyeliner on, so we're going to do that too. So this is Fascinating Eye Kohl. I feel like the brows aren't sharp enough, so I'm going to try finesse these. I did an IG live a couple weeks ago trying to do like Instaglam makeup, and it was the hardest fucking thing I have ever done, where my friends would hop on and like talk me through certain steps, because it's just not how like my hands work or how I see makeup. It was a trip. I'm gonna dust away the powder that's been sitting. My favorite contour palette of all time. My favorite contour brush of all time. Running all the colors along. And we're gonna sculpt now. Bone beige. I'm gonna go in with bone beige. It's a little bit warmer and lighter. And I'm gonna go kind of on the top of the bone. And then I'm gonna go in with Sculpt, which is more gray, and do the shadowing down here and more just the center on the top. Everything's literally my favorite, and when I mean favorite, it's either brand new and I think it's the greatest thing that's ever come out, or I've been using it forever. So favorite, like powder multi-purpose brush, and then Studio Fix. And we're gonna start packing this in. Don't know, any MAC product that says studio on it is made for flash photography, film, photos, all those things. So you could pack it on and you're not going to worry about like it looking weird. So that's why I prefer to pack on this versus translucent powder. Translucent powder I'm very new to. Sneak it under here. And then I like to do one big sweep. These two lighter tones, here's another 240. I don't know if I can live this life. I don't know if I can live this life. Okay, the nose looks great. Let's pick up the, what are these called? I don't even remember. Emphasize and Cream. And we're also going to pack that. Okay, this is my new nose contour when I go back into the real world. It literally looks like she's wearing Whirl. I don't have Whirl, so I'm going to use Myth from HAUS Labs. Okay, so this is Sweet Thing Retro Matte Lip. You can't get it anymore. I used to always be like a liquid lip or a matte lip person. I'm all about lip gloss now. It's really strange. And I'm gonna reline. It's such a common lip color. There are so many dupes. You could use Mare lipstick, you could use Soar lipstick, you could use Brave if you wanted something lighter or you're more fair, and then you could use Whirl liner. It will all do the same thing. Down to an Art, I think, is a new one. That's it, guys. That's the look. Thanks so much for watching and hanging out. I hope you enjoyed the new backdrop, and I hope you picked up some tips and tricks that you want to try yourself, and I encourage you to do things that are outside your comfort zone because you can always learn something. If you have any questions, leave a comment below or hit me up on Instagram at Miss Megan Robinson, and until then, I'll see you next time. Bye.